question. Team Sirius versus Ninjas in Pyjamas is a good way to start this, just to be able to get a good kind of measure on these teams. Obviously, Ninjas in Pyjamas is probably the favored team, considering what they did with the last minor, and also just the recent performance in general. Seems like a lot of teams view them as the biggest threat, but as we said time and time before in Dota, being the biggest threat also puts you at a big disadvantage.
Yeah, I think that I actually prefer Sirius's draft.
All right, well, you and Tsunami both. Is it because of the last pick, Batrider? That was Tsunami's biggest point about their draft.
It's mainly because I wanted Alan to look bad.
Oh, well, that's also a good motivation for making your predictions.
No, I think that I agreed with the point about the Batrider.
I think that like the bat. That was pretty much the point, that he liked the bat, and that it was picked late.
I think the Batrider's great. I could very easily see this being a really good Naga game as well. I think it really comes down to how the offlaners perform. Like, if 33 has a really free game, I could also see him just owning this Naga.
And it's going to be a 33 dual lane with a hero that we've actually been seeing a lot of pro players playing around with. It's the Treant Protector. Before this minor actually started, I watched No-Tail play back-to-back games of pubs practicing Treant Protector. I got into a game with Y, or Innocence, and he snap-picked Treant Protector when given a chance. So it seems like all the pro players are, all the 5 positions are trying to figure out whether or not this support is worthy. And Peter Pandam, anyway, he at least feels strongly enough about it to be able to pick it up as their very first hero in their draft.
I mean, he is a prolific tree player. Loves playing this hero. Plays it a lot.
So if it's back in the meta, but is it back in the meta, Blitz?
We'll see. I mean, I have to kind of see how it works out myself.
Yeah.
Because I haven't played... I played like 6 pub games in this patch. It released before I had access to a computer.
Yeah. Me and you both.
But we did play using Complexity's PCs. Thank you for them.
Yeah, shout out to them for their late entry. So we finally got a little bit of chance to get our hands on the Dota game. There is, we should go over the natures. Guys change, which is the biggest change that just recently happened to Treant Protector. It's now a self-cast ability with just a little bit of time it takes to be able to cast it. And you still do the same tree walking thing that you did before. One of the big advantages, you don't have that fade delay that you had before. You have to self-cast it, yes, but I feel like that's a big advantage compared to like having to walk next to a tree and like hope that it goes off in time, you know? And it does have a cooldown, so you can't immediately get it back. But it's still, I think you can still almost... Well, you can't actually chain it, because I guess it's a 4-second cooldown to 2.2. But you can chain it with, because I watched No-Tail do. He hit, overgrowth, went back into the trees again, hit again. So he got like, 6 seconds of single target disable on somebody because of that. Actually, it's probably more like 7 or 8. We are going to have them securing Ninjas in Pyjamas, rather, securing the top lane. We see the full aggression coming out from Sirius, making sure they get these 2 bounty runes.
I think Abba's a really good counter, though, to Tree, right?
In the fact that you have an answer to overgrowth?
Yeah. You can get yourself +1 out.
Yeah.
Plus, I think this is a very good back game. In the laning phase against Troll, it should be really nice.
Yeah. They don't have a great saving mechanism. Living Armor is not going to do a whole lot against the damage over time from the Batrider. They have no way to be able to stop that disable. The best they can do is disable the Batrider with the Shadow Shaman or Tree to keep him from pulling anybody back, but none of the classic save mechanisms like Oracle and Abaddon that are probably the most popular supports right now that can do that for you. And first things first is going to be Peter Pandam trying to shut down Siler's Naga Siren, because I do agree with you. I think this could be a really good Naga Siren game. I've been pulling
on slowing down the Brewmaster.
Yeah. And 33 blocks the hard camp, pulls creep wave all the way over, so he gets it in front of his tower. Mid matchup is going to be the Ember Spirit, Fada's Ember Spirit versus ASD's Leshrac. That's favorable for the Lesh at first, right?
Yeah, but at some point it's really hard for the Ember. You don't lose your Flame Guard.
Yeah, you get like level 3 Flame Guard.
Yeah. Once the Lesh hits like 6, it becomes better, but before that point, like, you only spam out 2 spells.
Right.
It'll last.
So he just needs to get into that second level of Flame Guard. He'll start feeling a lot better about his laning phase. You can already see Ace. He's doing a good job with the CS right now, but he's going to be feeling a constant sticky napalm in July, managing to pull the creep wave back into his tower. Means a nice long lane that you can always threaten Ace in.
Yeah, and Fada's actually crushing mid right now. Almost doubling up in CS. Actually, with that CS, straight up doubled him.
And they have, you know, near the same base damage too. Leshrac really doesn't have that much of a difference between that Ember Spirit, but maybe just because it's a melee hero and such, Fada securing a 14-0 CS score compared to 8-0 on the Leshrac right now.
Yeah, easy does it so far as, I mean, the Ember animation just feels really good. Leshrac's doesn't feel too bad, but
it's still at the end of like a ranged projectile.
Yeah.
While Ember Spirit is just a
plus the Leshrac doesn't pressure you that hard. Like maybe in the first 2 levels, but even then like spells are quite weak.
Yeah.
The point of Leshrac is that you just farm, trade even. Once in a while if somebody comes to come roam for you, you might get a kill. But I think it's unlikely because the Shaman, or the Lion I mean, is up in this top lane. Like it's harder for him to rotate, right? Because it becomes much more obvious when he does. Yeah. As opposed to the Abaddon. But it's not like Firefly's going to move out of this bottom lane at any point.
You want to talk about the difference of Leshrac's before and what we're seeing lately? Mostly being innovated by Samael's Leshrac at Birmingham.
The move speed thing, right?
Yeah.
So that you have constant pressure on the map, you can run around really quickly, which means that when you get the boots of travel, you're always like pressuring the lanes out, which I think he really likes to do. Plus, it makes you just a beast in team fights. Like you run in, the Kaya and Yasha build makes it so that you just deal overall more damage too. Yeah. Which is never a bad thing on a hero like Leshrac. Like all the percentage-based stuff helps Leshrac so much, considering it helps all 4 of his skills actively. Right. He's the most offensive hero in Dota in that sense, anyways. It's like when the hero's good, he's gonna feel real good. Yeah. So the percentage of Kaya is going to feel super good. And then the Yasha is going to feel good just because the natural build-up. You've got Yules that gives you movement speed. You said the Boots of Travel build is there as well. Yeah, I mean, positioning on this hero matters more than just like raw strength or anything like that. Yeah. So if you're like purely a positioning-based hero, it's going to matter more having that move speed rather than getting early BKB online or anything like that. Jung-En doing a really good job against Peter Pan Dam right now. Might be able to kill him. The South cast goes off. Is he going to go for the Impale? The blind Impale, but Peter does dodge it pretty well. That was a 50-50. Yeah. He made that a 50-50. Sport Position, who first made his... Ooh, 33, a little bit low. It'll be okay, and Peter just going to suicide to neutrals. That's the right call. Especially since the change to the death timer thing, where it's now 30 seconds, I believe, for you to be able, like, you have to stop taking hero damage before you can suicide to the tier 2 and split the gold rather than giving it all to one person. So it just means that window, you're going to see a lot more people just suiciding to neutral creeps rather than suiciding to tier 2s like they did before. So it seems like everyone's just kind of farming pretty well. Yeah, no kills happening around the map. I think this bottom lane should be winning for the bat, but part of it is that he doesn't really have an offensive partner. Yeah, with the Batten being in lane, do you feel like they should have done... He canceled his TP? Yeah. You feel like they should have done Lion Bottom instead of a Batten? Yeah, I definitely think they should have done Lion Bottom. Because I don't think you're, as the Lion, I don't think you could do a whole lot to stop this tree. You're not, but like Naga, the thing about it is that Naga farms against everybody. She's got super high base armor. Yeah. Siler's not a fool. He can just kind of sit here, play around this area. If he gets really far behind, he can just mirror image and farm neutrals. And finally, he's going to show up here trying to catch Soxa. We'll be able to hit him with the Impale. They've got a Hex if needed, but it really doesn't look like it. Runs him down with a Firefly. That's first blood. And this is the lane that I sort of expected. Yeah. Putting the Abaddon at bottom kind of felt pointless to me. I guess the upside is that you can shrug off the shackles and the mischance from the troll, but that doesn't really affect you that much as Batrider. Yeah.
Because oftentimes you're not really going to be going for the troll kill a lot. You're going to be going for the kill on Shadow Shaman anyway. So if you get the disable on him, then his disables on the Batrider don't really matter.
I feel like this is a lane that they could have already gone like 2-3 kills in.
Yeah. Sadly, just not the case right now. At least they pick up the first blood. 5 minutes in, but Ninjas and Pyjamas are having a slight lead right now. You just see Firefly pretty soon go for the deny on himself in top lane with the miscoil spam. See whether or not Nip can somehow get a last hit on him. But it just seems unlikely. They have no range stuns to throw out. Oh, Junghead with a perfect time there of the impale onto Soxa as he tries to go for the shackles. Gets into the trees, but his ward is also going to be immediately countered. And he may still be found. Soxa burrows his way through the trees, does manage to spot him out here. Shackles up and another 1 second. Impale going out though. And he's just going to take as much right-click damage onto this line as possible. But yeah, as you said, I mean, Sylar is half the time there hasn't been a support in his lane. He's 39-7, top of the CS board.
They want to make a move onto this lane. PPD is going to spot him out.
Going to be able to hit it.
Really out of position.
And now the Ben has to bail out in July, who probably should be fine as long as he's able to Firefly. Away into the trees he goes.
They're going to drop the sentry here, but
is under attack.
Not a whole lot of wiggle room. S33, he's getting stuck right now. SD waiting for him to
lead off. Do they have the ensnare? They don't have an ensnare, so they really need 33 to move over to like this range creep area and hit the stun.
I think he's waiting too long.
Yeah,
he's trying to force him
too much wasted time.
The right over here, but 33 is actually being really smart, and he just consistently goes to the left, and now they're going to make the jump on him, and this should be a kill.
Oh, he's going to be able to dodge the split earth, but still, it's so hard to get away from this Leshrac once he's on top of you. He had just enough mana.
I mean, he missed like every spell, but he's still
yeah. But at least 33 costs him, you know, an extra 30 or 33 more seconds of time to get that kill. That was not intentional. It just kind of popped out, I swear. Meanwhile, the Ember Spirit bottom was just kind of free farming away, has a double damage rune. We'll see what kind of rotations he wants to make. When you are, bottom lane, trying to go for it with the Hex, the Sticky Napalm, there's going to be Soxa to be able to slow down this Batrider, but immediately the Photic Shield goes out. Angel Eye has a Firefly now. He has enough for the lasso as well. If he just gets close enough to be able to grab him, that's going to be a kill. As they pull him back, keep the disables on him to make sure he can't get off his ultimate. And now they can get Soxa as well. There's no TPs coming in, and they probably see that too with the flying vision of Angel Eye, giving vision of most of this tower area. They are going to be able to give him maybe that tree armor. They're going to have to dive in a lot more to be able to get this kill. Peter Pan Dam now the jump in from Fada. That was just long enough. Even if they did get the Shadow Shaman eventually, a lot of your heroes had to dive in a bit too deep. They're only going to get one of them though, and that's the Lion.
It's pretty disappointing for NIP as I think they expected more from the rotation of the Ember Spirit.
Especially he had mangoes, he had a regen rune, but guess the Abaddon just made things too difficult. Could only go for the Lion.
That is what we expect, though, out of the Batrider versus Troll matchup. Make it really hard for the Troll to turn, get on top of him. All these heroes really suffer against heroes like Batrider, like these TBs, Lycans, Troll Warlords. And there's already Boots of Travel, I think, unless I missaw that.
Yep, on our Angel Eye Batrider. Indeed.
5 minutes faster than average. Ooh.
Is that 5 minutes faster for this patch?
Than this patch average, yeah.
We've seen, I mean, it's not all the time, but we have seen a lot of Boots of Travel first Batriders.
That's still very quick.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even that far up in CS. 28 and 5, I guess. Maybe most people don't rush it as much as this. Fada, what a big pickup that was.
That is actually huge.
He was trying to rotate over, I'm guessing, to put some pressure in top and help secure the bounty runes.
But Lion in this like mid-game area where Ember can't just like get on top of you is so good.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You know, I partially went with Sirius because I do think NIP might be the better team.
Oh, Peter got spotted and could pull into the sentry there. He was actually fine where he was at before, not that he could really know that.
Yeah. I mean, this Batrider's massive. Part of it is that I just think that their laning phase is just too good on the side of Sirius.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to win Dota, especially if you think one team is better, is just to win the lanes. if you could win through the lanes, like it's by far the easiest path to victory. You can play very passive, and all the pressure is on the enemy team to make moves as a team. Like your cores have to connect a lot faster to each other when you play this style. Whereas like when you win 3 lanes, all 3 cores can play relatively separate. Like they don't have to make any big moves.
Trying to make the dive onto the last track. Firefly is there. A Phonic Shield to be able to remove the stun, but there is still the slow with the Primal Split going out as well. Tossing out the Bat Rider in the air to make sure they can finish off ASD. He's still getting so much heal and so much damage over time out of Fada that he feels uncomfortable going for the next kill on either Firefly or Bat Rider, but it looks like it's going to be Firefly caught by the shield. Oh, zap though on Soxa. He stumbles a little bit too far forward, and now as the Primal Split fades out, In July should be able to chase down 33 pretty easily. A dominating streak for In July. They did get that last strike, but it's still the Bat Rider who's on top right now.
Yeah, that's going to be a 2 for 2 is Ace.
Holy,
he is so far behind.
What is this level difference? My goodness.
Again, it's just the Bat Rider versus Troll matchup. Oh, it's not an easy lane for him to go to. They dove him under. He wasn't... the core's connected to him, meaning that Ace was just never going to get that much XP. Whereas Naga Siren really does not care about what heroes are in her lane.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen Nature's Prophet Wyvern go at her with everything. Treants, right-clicking her with Arctic Burn, it does nothing. Just so much armor.
Middle tower is under
really good base stats overall. It's just hard to stop this hero's farm unless you get one of those like burst combos like Grim plus Sven.
Yeah. And once you get these stats now, life is going to be harder and harder for the supports as illusions. Just run at them. Looking to make the dive here in bottom lane. If Peter shows himself, if not, they'll just take this tier 1 tower. They have to.
They know.
They do know with the, especially with the Dogbalk Edict hitting Peter.
Yeah, as soon as that happens, it should be very obvious to everyone involved. And they do have dust. I'm surprised they didn't use it there.
It's probably just because of the tree walking.
Nope. They're going to spot him.
Spot him, but it's like they need the hard disable of the Lion on him.
Man, this is such a good Bat Rider game.
Flying around.
This is very well done by Sirius, but they've got to be careful here.
They're trying to heal up mid-tier 1 right now while also pushing this tier 2 atop. Sirius really want to be able to finish up this mid-tower as it got so low, and they know the danger of leaving it to a tree right now, but that's exactly what Ninjas Pyjamas want you to do. They're going to be able to get the 4-man overgrowth. A great setup. Firefly looking to be able to keep ASD alive as best as possible. He's a little bit low himself. Will be able to get away with the lasso burning out Peter. Almost enough to manage to get the heal, and Ace barely managed to get off the battle trance. Sirius almost got both of them. It looks like Ace will eventually die here as he's not able to get a kill onto Sirius, and he just because of his ultimate was drawn into that tier 1 tower area.
They did save the tower, and this is going to force them to reassess, but they don't have the ulti on the tree at this time, but they do have the Bruce Split, and I'd imagine they want to all-in commit to saving this tower. That is the point of their strategy. They've got 3 points in this living armor. Just keep it alive for as long as you can. All 10 wards being farmed up so far by the Naga. We saw that at top when he dropped it for the tier 2. And Sylar still hasn't really been touched at all. And we're seeing that reflected in the net worth. But it's just hard for NIP to make these moves because they're constantly under pressure. They're very acutely aware of the fact that their troll is so far behind, I think.
Yeah.
But Sirius is always forming as 3 towards this mid tower. And it's just hard to get aggressive in that situation.
I've heard like one of the big ways to beat Ninjas Pyjamas is to make Ace's game hard.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely did that. He's just hit level 8. His farm isn't terrible, it's just the levels are so far behind as they trade out sentry wards. And it's this constant pressure towards this mid lane that forces everybody over and makes it awkward for there to be any sort of pressure onto Sylar. Because what you're doing is, maybe you get a gank attempt on this guy, but it's most likely not going to land because Sylar has a lot of stats and he can just pop sleep. And during that time, Sirius will take your mid tower. They're putting you in a position where you have to choose one or the other at this point. That's how you're opening up space on the map for Sylar, as they're going to get aggressive here. If they could catch Ace, this would be so massive, and they are going to make it go.
They might be able to chase him with a flame break, bumps him over, gives him with lasso. Now, especially with the Lion there, just finger. Oh, they actually let him get that off. He could have thrown any one of those disables. He didn't really have to finger him either. They do manage to get the kill eventually. 2-man impale, that's a nice setup, but it means Chang'an is in trouble. He does have the Aphotic Shield. Mist Coil's coming out as well. Firefly's going to pop his ultimate here. They're going to come in from this from the side. ASD is actually spotted that Soxa is maybe just chasing these heroes a little bit too far forward. They do manage to get both the supports. Fireflies, Symphonic Shield's going to wear out here, but ASD is still plenty healthy, and Fada's just going to run away from him. The Primal Split is going to wear out eventually here. He's got to get the Earth Panda back to safety, as you never know if In July is going to come back in for that kill.
Yeah, this is just more space. And look at it. Sylar took mid during this time. They're putting them into these uncomfortable positions where it's like, pick, which one do you want to do? You want to save your troll? Then you're going to lose mid tower. And it's not even a favorable trade as they lose the core. It could have gone a lot better for Sirius.
Into the split Earth. I'm not sure if he has a Remnant down. No, I don't think he does. He's going to have to throw one out, jump away.
Was the split Earth on CD?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That was interesting.
He's low on mana, but he
that's because of his ulti,
yeah.
At PPD. TP incoming from the Batrider.
Good play here from In July using... He must have missed the dust. Okay,
yeah,
never
he was
mind.
just a little bit too far off.
Their heroes are also very good at countering the living armor, right? Of both towers as well as heroes.
Yeah, they're gonna get a kill on Firefly, but
it's a whatever kill.
It indeed is. Because the bigger threat, this bottom lane Sylar, already has a Manta style and 1,500 gold.
They have Peter behind him. See if he can get to Nature's Sky's bonk overgrowth. Into full disables out from Soxa. They also have the Brewmaster coming in. Do they have enough? Look at her, how tanky she is right now. Oh, try to get it. Finally, the Song of Siren goes down. TP out. And this is exactly what you were saying. You're just saying she has too much stats.
Yeah. When she's this strong, it doesn't really matter if you catch her with 3 heroes because you just won't have the disables.
They needed like Fada there as well or something.
Yeah, if they had Fada there, maybe that's a kill, but...
Fada needs, he needs a little bit of recovery still for that Maelstrom.
Still, it's the commitment that you have to bring just to bring down this hero.
Yeah.
Like, whereas ASD, he has enough damage where if he gets the Yule Scepter here, he just gets a kill on Fada. And Fada not even trying to play with him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure ASD is happy with that.
Dude, this is sick play from Sirius overall, though.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really like how they keep forcing the issue, and they're making it just hard for this Naga to be pressured at all. I mean, this has got to be such a scary game for NIP to play because you know that Naga's had such a free game.
Yeah.
Like, since the laning phase, she hasn't really seen a hero. And the one time they pressure her, it confirms in Sylar's brain that he's unkillable. As long as he has sleep up anyways.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Ensnare's removed by basic dispel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we at least always have the battle trap. Yeah, good trap there set up for Fada. They do have the overgrowth. Finger Death going down on Fada. Still not dead. Soxa's going to be able to get a beautiful Serpent Wards trap. He's going to commit his life here to shackle up Jiang'an and make sure he dies underneath the Serpent Wards. Also, the Firefly is quite low as his borrow time is now out. He's looking to be able to save Sylar. They just went for it because they knew he does not have Song of Siren right now. He needs to be able to drop that Aphotic Shield as he gets the ensnare, pops the illusions, but they're already staying onto the real one. Another Stone Boulder comes out, but still too tanky, especially with the Abad nearby. They want to overstep themselves, and maybe they already have with the ensnare out on 33. Sylar, nice juke there of that Thunderclap, and all they have to do is just wait until the Batrider's here, grab him with the lasso, surrounding the Brewmaster. Tries to go for a desperate TP away. He's not so desperate. Oh, doesn't make it though. Still.
And Ace might be dead.
And ASD gonna chase down Ace. He does have the battle trance, but he knows if he pops it, he's dead. That's why he just hoped and prayed that he could run fast enough, and indeed he does.
And barely does at that, but now a TP coming in, Fada trying to save his tower.
They had the living armor into the little bit of time they have, but it's still not going to be enough. Again, just it gets ripped apart by Diabolic Edict and then Naga Siren with all her illusions. Multiple instances of damage happening all the time.
And this Batrider just TP's down towards bottom lane. 4-0 and 7 in July is absolutely beasting it on this Batrider so far.
Oh yeah, he's making a very strong argument for Sirius's roster change and why this was worth it for them. I'm sure maybe it wasn't as controversial in the Western scene, but I have no doubt that it's got to be controversial in the Chinese scene at least.
I think right now NIP's only move is to smoke like this. Like they have to do something to the downside of going down into your jungle like this is because the lane is so pushed in, it's not like you'll get anything out of it. And Sirius have read this. They scan successfully. They're going to run in. They want to take this fight on the side of Sirius.
They're going to be able to lead off with the Hex on Peter, get the Impale. The Bat Rider just wants to be able to chase down more important cores, and he will be able to get one. That's going to be Fauna with all of that physical damage from the Naga Siren, taking him out. Saxa will be able to TP away. Oh, never mind. We're going to blow the Saga Siren to make sure that not even Saxa can escape from this one, slowing down his Blink Dagger with this death. Sylar, Manta, Defusal.
Look at this. They're going to set the trap for 33.
Oh, that was so fast. Already up there in the top lane with Injalai Jung and able to catch 33 here. Thought, well, at least they'll be able to get the 2 bounties, but that's not even the case. He tries to go for the bounties, loses his life instead as ASD comes in to clean up the kill.
That was such a sick trap. They're playing so quick around the map, and they're still looking for more as Ace in the area, but Injalai looks like he's just pulling this creep wave out. Going to farm out the neutrals. And there's going to be a time period where Sirius have to be careful because Silo doesn't have that sleep.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But so far so good for Sirius as they are up, doubling the kill score right now. Objectives in their favor as well. All of their cores picking up a lot of farm now. I've got to say, by the way, Leshrac looks so insane. No matter what you do to this hero, it always just feels like he's putting out so much damage. He's naturally going to be very tanky because of the Abaddon.
Yep. Doesn't go for the Kayayasha build, but has duels into Bloodstone now.
Yeah. The next big change for NIP is going to be the BKB on Ace. Okay. That's really like your best shot at that point. If you just click around on the rest of the heroes, there's not a whole lot that anybody else, I think, is going to be waiting for.
Yeah.
Like, that is the biggest game-changing.
That'll hopefully depreciate the Leshrac's value to all these team fights.
But Tree just carrying around a bunch of sentries. Peter Pandam's life not getting any easier as there's so much detection around, and for the most part, they're just sort of ignoring him in fights because he doesn't actually provide that much. He's not that scary of a presence. Ace might get caught out here once again.
Pull him back to the Leshrac, who has the Yules ready to go to set up the split. Earth doesn't really need to use it, though. He can wait to use the Yules for the battle trance. Pops it just before the split Earth. And, well, ASD is going to take a lot of damage. Might even go down here. Oh, okay, finally the battle trance. It fades away. They got another one. 33, as you said. They're just playing so fast around the map. 33 can't even get out the primal split. Wiped out by the finger of death.
They have to retreat right now.
They're just running forward now on the Bat Rider, as well as Sylar looking for any ensnare, any diffusal blade he can catch. That's going to be on Saxa. Peter quickly manages to take away the high ground vision that Sirius has. And
but again, they're just ignoring this tree.
Yeah. He's not doing enough.
And the point of this tree was to be able to keep that mid-tier 1 tower alive. And keep that top tier 1 tower alive. And just because ASD had such a good start, and the rotations that they made with this Bat Rider, that has largely been negated. They are just getting run over all along the map right now.
Another play would be shutting down the enemy carry, right?
Yeah.
Naga Siren Pick counters that really heavily.
Again, because she just doesn't care.
Yeah. Yule Scepter catching Peter as they set up for the tier 2 tower push. Keep it going, Sirius. I'm loving watching this level of Dota.
They are playing, I mean, this is the kind of Dota that I've been expecting so far, and they are playing so fast, minimal mistakes. They translate their laning phase win into something. They're actually taking towers, they're taking fights that lead into objectives, they're being decisive, they're setting traps. Like the one at top, 133 one for the bounty rune. Their spellcasting is very good. I mean, all around, there is a good reason why they're up 10k.
The fighting, farming aspect that they're going for, it's like we saw what that looks like when it's just bad in the first series, I thought, where it felt like the cores just weren't on the same page and who wants to fight and who wants to farm. They're split up in that idea. This is Sirius. They are all on the same game plan, which is let Sylar fight as much as possible, threaten 2 different objectives at once, make Ninjas the Pyjamas choose.
Yeah, it's really that choice, because as a pro player, I think you never really want to be put in that position. It's like, do I defend this or do I defend this? It's constantly deciding between the two.
Base 4-man smoke up, joining Sylar's. They just hit that tier 2 mid. As the smoke is going to pop, they know that the Treant Protector is close. They're going to pop the dust thinking that he's actually farther up here, but instead he's going to be able to blink in and find Saxa. I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know what Soxa could really do in that area. There's no way Nip can fight right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at this. He finds an Invis rune, immediately runs up to top lane, finds Ace. Now the whole team is running at him. These pickoffs just never end. Give him the finger death damage too.
Yeah, they are everywhere on the map at once right now. It is so hard for an IP to find any space right now. They're getting routed around the map too. Wherever they show on the map, that's a kill. And they're getting core kills. There's now an Aghanim Scepter on this Lion.
Yeah, they're running around killing Shadow Shamans and Treant Protectors and maybe the occasional Brew. Like, okay, but you'd at least still have troll farming. Ace has been picked off so many times.
I mean, Ace is like 7,000 net worth behind this Naga almost.
He's 0-5-2.
It's how this game is. To be fair to him, this is how this game is going to look when your team can't fight 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Like once NIP figured out that they can't fight, it was like retreat. People will die pushing out the lanes, but
why couldn't they fight? Did Fada not have a good enough game?
I mean, look at Sirius' start. I think it was just way too good to begin with. Plus, our heroes are just, again, I think this is the best Batrider game I've seen in a really long time. And Tsunami pointed it out too. He's like, this is a very good Batrider game. And I mean, in July, there's nothing to stop him, which feels amazing, right? As a Batrider player, it's usually you have to do these like calculations in your head. You're like, how the hell am I going to get my ulti off and actually bring somebody back?
Yep.
In this game, it's very easy. And so many of his heroes can follow up. And if he ever gets gone on and counter-initiated, and too many heroes rush forward, then you have sleep to disengage for your Batrider, and you can target the backline of NIP. There's just too many things right now for NIP to have to deal with, and this Batrider now has a BKB. He's barely behind this Ember Spirit and farm. They almost own all three of the top net worths. There's a Scotty completed on this Naga Siren.
I feel like the Abaddon Naga Siren Bat is a lot like how we saw Abaddon OD in the previous patch.
Yeah.
Where this double save mechanism allows these this offlaner hero, whatever it is, to just play ultra aggressive.
We were talking about it last game, how nobody on Windstrike, their cores were carrying around dust. Like Sylar, he dropped his Wraith Band. He's like, screw it. Like, it's more important to potentially find.
Nope. And they do find him indeed. Peter Pan Dam, they're going to be able to get the chains out, but obviously their support is dead. 33 goes to the back lane. He instantly gets hexed. He thought he was going to be able to get the clap into the primal split. He's riding. He does manage to get it off just in time. Go for ASD perhaps. He does have the Aegis though, so instead maybe they want Sylar. He does have the Song of Siren. Pops it now. Get the reset. Sirius. Waiting for the last track to come back down to Earth and see if he can land the split Earth. He's going to go for Peter. Misses. A little bit late there on that one. Still looking to be able to run down these heroes as he has the Aegis and the Yule Scepter. A body shield out as well. There's going to be Aegis turning and fighting. Sagar, silent. He's actually dead. He actually went too far. And Sox caught him with the beautiful Jackals. ASD in his first life will manage to clean up at least the troll. But it's surrounded by so many heroes and they've got too many disables. There's not much he can do here. He's just going to get chains done up. Sirius losing their first fight of the game when they had an 11,000 net worth lead.
And it all comes down to the fact that NIP were able to get the jump on that Lion to start with. Look at him. He cast he wasn't able to cast really anything, and on top of that, when they did use the sleep to disengage, he actually messed up the stun. So they just caught the Brewmaster Brewling.
Also, was Treant Protector really the hero they wanted to go for anyway?
Yeah, he just used buyback, reset things.
I mean,
so finally a successful fight. It does move the needle 2,000 gold. Tells you how far behind they were.
Yeah.
We finally see it. That is the first uptick that we get in the entirety of the game.
It has been Team Sirius all the way. They had a 20,000 experience lead as well. That could be halved by the end of this run upwards. Is Nipper going to continue to farm out the map, take some more towers?
I mean, this BKB pickup by Fada is huge. There's not a whole lot unless he gets hexed to start the fight. He's going to do a lot in these engagements.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Plus, I really like the build that he's going for in general.
Going to run in and caught Firefly. Now he does have borrowed time, but Young An got a little bit too close as well. Unfortunately, there is going to be one save. They thought thought about going for the Sonic side better because they have the lasso on Fada. They need to be able to control him up. Don't let him get off the BKB. Burned away his man, and now he's dead. Ace, he's also going to be caught here. BKB battle trance. He just goes for it, but no one he can really hit that he can bring down quickly. As you can see, he goes for the Naga Siren at one point, but
that's 3 dead now.
3 dead, 2 of them with no buyback. Sirius, they may have lost the fight, but they bounce back fast and can now get a lane of Eric's, or perhaps at least a tier 3 out of this.
And that comes down to Fada making that aggressive maneuver onto Lion. Didn't pop the BKB, so Lion just got a free hex off onto him. They changed that very well.
Yeah, seriously, that's a situation where you just need to play it safe and commit.
It's either use the BKB in that situation or don't go in at all.
Yeah.
So now the advantage that they garnered off of that is now going to go away. NIP, they don't have buybacks.
Okay, I thought, you know, one lane of racks back up, but Sirius actually take it so quickly. They've already taken the melee bearings, go for the tier 3 at bottom lane, and there's still 5 more seconds for the troll. And I think they need the tree in this fight as well, and that's 20 seconds.
If they didn't buy back for the mid-racks, it means they didn't have it, right?
Yeah.
And so Sirius is like, this is free. They're going to back up, get the shrine, continue to control the map. I mean, this was one of the cleaner games of Dota that I've seen played so far. Aside from that mid-engagement, where they whiffed it a little bit.
Dropped the ball in the re-engagement off of Song.
Yeah.
And this is, they've been winning fights non-stop. They've been able to go for later game BKBs, which if the game wasn't already secure by you getting 2 lanes of rack, down 10-second BKB on ASD and the Siren, I don't know what Nip does. I mean, there goes like all the damage coming out from Fada.
I will say, I'm sure a lot of people will flame Ace for this game because they'll just baseline read his score, but I genuinely just think they got outdrafted.
I mean, there was just, nobody was making plays on the side of Nip, and if nobody's making plays and Nip's a good team, then something was just wrong. I feel like a lot of it, like the tree protector got hard countered. That is the last one on the in July getting baited.
Oh no, they all got baited.
Oh, they certainly did.
Disaster.
And it doesn't even matter. Seriously, like, well, we just blew 2 ultimates on an illusion. Let's go high ground anyway. In fact, let's even split up to a point where Siler's hitting the bottom lane while we hit the top lane.
This is how far ahead they feel they are. And they would be entirely correct, Cap.
They certainly are.
They're saying, just walk into the pit again. This is the smarter maneuver for them to make.
Take this shrine away so they have better control of the Roshan pit, which Rosh could be up in 1 minute's time.
Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
And they're going to go for the YOLO smoke to that area. I think they realize it's really their only play left. Is they're going to make the move onto the Bad Rider, who instantly pops his BKB, not playing around at all.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The main reason he doesn't re-engage there, no ulti.
Yeah.
And top is being hit anyways, so they know they're smoked. Might as well wait it out. Ace is still smoked up. Firefly, the heroes that are the tankiest, still in front right now. Sox are going to run in. Sylar spots them all.
Nip, I mean, I think they know they just had to get some sort of desperate, catch them off guard sort of play, the smoke in his smoke play. But Sirius, strong discipline, just maintaining the high ground, as you said, having their tankiest heroes in the front. And Angel Eye, now he can make his initiation with the lasso onto the Brewmaster, the Finger of Death going out, and Sylar with enough physical damage to finish him off. ASD controlled momentarily by Soxa, but quickly realizes he can't stick around. He may have gotten the Serpent Ward trap, but not even Ace can go for that 133 in the middle of everyone. Does manage to get off his primal split, but ASD's back up to full health thanks to the Bloodstone. And Firefly, is that's the best target you can really go for? Oh, no, they're trying to get Sylar right now with the shackles. It's going to be interrupted by Zhang An. They're going to go for that back line, see if we can finish off the line as well as Angel Eye. They do so with their double BKBs. They're doing a lot of damage right now. Sylar's at half HP. The BKBs are going to wear out eventually. He needs to be able to get off that Song of Siren. They're controlling him up right now. Manage to get the shackles. Just burst them down. They've almost got him. It looks like they do. He will fall. If Firefly just couldn't get there fast enough with the Aphotic Shield. Angel Eye, though, and ASD take combined forces just to be able to finish off. They Nip, they know how many buybacks they had to use for that. They used every single bit of their abilities and items to be able to get the 1 kill on the Naga Naga Siren. That was important, but if everybody from Sirius buys back and goes it again, there's nothing that Nip can do to stop them from claiming Megas.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to jump forward. Hex, Impale, Finger of Death, and Ember Spirit should die here. The damage over time to Leshrac, and now Blitz catch the Troll as well. He doesn't have backfill trance. Fortunately, there is going to be Peter bonking the Leshrac as well as the Bat Rider, keep them from going onto the Troll. But there is still the buildings in trouble. And a 3 versus 5, that's Megas. And Nip, at this point, they may just be talking it out, looking to game 2, because I don't see much of a hope of them coming back even before the Megas.
I mean, they're still playing it out, but
money changes hands.
they have to know the situation that they were in 10 minutes ago. And it doesn't get any better at this point. Sirius, it looks like they're just going to group up and go for it again.
Blitz, you were watching the draft. Like, what do you feel like were the biggest missteps? For me, it's like I feel like the tree is not a first pick material.
Maybe.
Or at least Sirius had a really good answer to it.
I mean, Sirius did have a really good answer to it. The Abba, Bat plus Naga Siren, like all 3 of these heroes don't really mind.
Oh, got the pick off, Finger of Death, and Fada.
No buyback now.
No buyback. Peter does have a buyback, but he is dead as well.
He's going to use it. They're going to go for one last engagement.
Ace
Middle tower.
looking at this, not sure how to make his initiation. 33 does manage to get some disables out. They're going to go straight for Siler if possible. And Siler does get off his BKB. That means Saksa, his life is forfeit into the back line. They do have the primal split going for Zhang En right now, and might be able to get that one kill on the support while Ace trying to go for Siler as best as he can, but he's getting kited around by these illusions. Burned out of mana, and the BKB wearing out means ASD is free to clean up that kill. GG is called. Team Sirius taking game 1 against one of the favorites here at StarLadder.
That was so well done by them. That was, honestly, I'm